Hesitant, melancholic sigh. Oh, where do I even begin? I'm still trying to process the traumatic experience I had at Hotel Hedera Maslinica Rabac. It's like a perpetual scar on my soul, a constant reminder of the disappointment and despair that I felt during my stay. As I stepped into the hotel, I was immediately struck by the eerie, musty smell that clung to the air like a bad omen. It was as if the entire place was suffocating under the weight of its own mediocrity. And, oh, how right I was. The room, if you could even call it that, was a tiny, cramped space that seemed to shrink further with each passing minute. The bed, a creaky, lumpy monstrosity, looked like it had been rescued from a thrift store. I mean, who uses a bedspread with a garish, floral pattern that's so outdated? It's practically retro. It was like they were trying to transport me back to the 1970s, minus the charm and nostalgia. But alas, the bed was only the beginning of my woes. The bathroom, a dingy, poorly lit cave, reeked of mildew and stagnation. I swear, the shower curtain was a petri dish for bacteria, just begging to infect me with some ancient disease. And don't even get me started on the towels, threadbare, rough, and stained. It was like they were trying to scrub the skin off my body. I mean, what kind of hotel can't even provide decent towels? And then there was the food. Oh, the food. It was like they had taken every bland, uninspired dish from the past 3 decades and mashed them together into a culinary abomination. The breakfast buffet, a sad, limp affair, offered a sorry excuse for a meal, congealed eggs, lukewarm bacon, and what passed for juice, but was really just Kool-Aid with a splash of water. It was like they were trying to extract every last vestige of flavor and joy from my taste buds. But of course, the piece de resistance was the so-called all-inclusive package. What a joke. It was like they took every overpriced, watered-down drink from the minibar and slapped a free label on it. I mean, who thought it was a good idea to serve warm, syrupy cocktails in a plastic cup? It was like they were trolling me, daring me to find something, anything, that I could remotely enjoy. And the staff. Oh, the staff. They were like a well-rehearsed troupe of disinterested, apathetic actors, going through the motions with all the enthusiasm of a sedated sloth. When I politely inquired about the Wi-Fi not working, they shrugged and told me to try restarting my device. Hello. I'm a paying customer, not a tech support specialist. But you know what the worst part was? The worst part was that they didn't even care. They didn't care that their hotel was a dump, that their food was inedible, or that their staff was incompetent. They just didn't care. It was like they were operating on autopilot, content to milk their customers for every last penny, without providing even the bare minimum of service. Frustrated sigh. I mean, how hard is it to get things right? How hard is it to provide a decent room, edible food, and friendly staff? Is it really too much to ask for a little bit of effort, a little bit of care. Apparently, it is for Hotel Hedera Maslinica Rabac. Pausing, collecting thoughts. You know, I used to think that I was just being picky, that I was expecting too much from a hotel. But now, I realize that I was just expecting the bare minimum of humanity. I was expecting to be treated like a person, not a cash cow. Softly, with a hint of irony,
Hey, I'm looking into all these crimes near Hotel Hedera Maslinica Rabac, and I'm just so sad, it's supposed to be a beautiful vacation spot, but there are all these scams and frauds going on. Businesses near Hotel Hedera Maslinica Rabac are they're all about getting your money, there was this one case in Rijeka, not too far from Rabac, where these guys opened a trading company, bit lucky, and they promised people high returns on investments in cryptocurrencies. They even had a physical office, so people thought it was legit. But they were just scamming people, taking their money and promising them the world. I mean, can you believe it? They got away with over 18 million euros. What probably happened next is that the victims were left with nothing, they must have been so devastated. They trusted these people, and they got robbed. And the scammers, they probably just disappeared with the money, living their best lives, while the victims were left to deal with the consequences. It's just so wrong, how could they do that to people? And then there are these corrupt business owners, in Bjelovar and Vrbovic, not too far from Rabac, who were taking bribes from local business owners in exchange for favors. They were even getting free construction services for their personal properties. It's they were just using their power to enrich themselves, and it's so unfair. Businesses near Hotel Hedera Maslinica Rabac are they're all about making a quick buck, even if it means breaking the law. And it's not just the big scams, it's also the little things, like fake booking offices and unlicensed tour sellers. They're all trying to take advantage of tourists, they think we're just going to blindly trust them. What probably happened next is that the business owners got caught, but I'm sure they just paid their way out of it or found some other way to avoid getting punished. And the tourists, they were just left to deal with the consequences, they must have been so frustrated. It's just I don't understand why people do these things, Can't they just be honest and fair? It's not that hard, is it?
Okay, here's the intro music, a melancholic piano piece. Let's talk about Rabac, specifically the area surrounding the Hotel Hedera Maslinica. You've chosen a beautiful spot, a postcard-perfect corner of Croatia, or so it appears. But I've spent some time examining what's really asterisk on offer just beyond the hotel walls, and frankly, it's disheartening. Businesses in this locale as a whole feel less like welcoming establishments and more like carefully constructed illusions, a facade of holiday cheer concealing a rather cynical undercurrent. It's as if they've calculated exactly how much they can get away with and then just gone with it. It sits with me, a dull ache behind my eyes, the realization that potential joy is so often traded for profit. We'll start with what stands out and sadly what consistently drags down the experience. It's a pervasive feeling of being undervalued. Let's begin with places attempting to present themselves as high-end. Girandella Resort, part of the Valhammer collection, is a prime example. These establishments, they seem to operate under the assumption that simply claiming luxury is enough. It's not. It's like dressing a cardboard box in velvet and expecting people to believe it's a treasure chest. Reviews repeatedly mention a stark disconnect between price and what you actually receive. All-inclusive, don't be fooled. People are speaking of rationing water like it's a desert survival scenario. Imagine paying a premium for a family vacation and needing to stockpile bottled water because it's not readily available. It feels wrong. A cold, calculating move, and the room's descriptions suggest cramped quarters, furniture showing its age, and a general lack of attention to detail. Do not disturb signs ignored. It's a small thing, perhaps, but indicative of a larger disregard for guest comfort. They tell you one thing but do another, and the guests are left in agony. It creates an unsettling feeling within me, the thought of people paying so much and receiving so little, and they just accept it. The complaints regarding the food aren't about it being bad necessarily, but limited. A crowded dining hall, a feeling of being processed. It reminds me of those old photographs of factory canteens, efficient but soulless. The saving grace apparently is the children's club, though even that's marred by inconsiderate smoking nearby, a small kindness tainted by thoughtlessness. And then there's the undercurrent of mistrust, lost belongings, dismissed concerns. One guest lost expensive earrings, reported it, and was met with blatant apathy. An email response blaming the guest, suggesting they should have called the police. The casual accusation, it feels particularly cruel. It's not about the earrings, it's about the complete lack of care. It leaves a bitter taste, doesn't it? The realization that you're not just a valued customer, but a potential source of revenue to be squeezed until dry. Moving on to dining, La Pentola Trattoria embodies a different kind of disappointment. Here, the problem isn't necessarily inflated prices, but blatant disrespect. It's a pattern of rudeness, of unwillingness to accommodate. Families denied seating at empty tables, reservations inexplicably ignored, long waits, indifferent service, and food that doesn't live up to expectations. One reviewer recounted a frustrating attempt to book for a large group, met with obstruction and a dismissive attitude. It's a recurring theme, a sense of entitlement from the staff, as if you are inconveniencing them by wanting to spend money at their establishment. It's almost aggressive. They act as if you are indebted to them. There's a particular sting in the stories of delayed food, forgotten orders, and dismissive responses to complaints.
The manager, in one instance, apparently argued that cooking homemade pasta takes a considerable amount of time, delivered with a tone that suggested the customer was being unreasonable for expecting prompt service. It's a subtle power dynamic, a way of asserting control. It's a dark comedy, really. Now, let's address the bars. Tropic Bar, for example, it's a picture of what happens when quality is sacrificed for profit. Cocktails served in half-filled glasses, mostly ice, at inflated prices. Drinks lacking alcohol. A general air of cheapness disguised as seaside charm. They've mastered the art of making you feel shortchanged. There's a story about being turned away with a dog, even though dogs are permitted on the nearby beach. A perplexing, illogical rule. Logical 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 rule.